Hey guys, welcome to the second in the series of Kickstart Agile that I'm doing here on my channel. Welcome everyone. In this video, I wanted to talk about moving from your ISL or the initial story list that we created in the earlier video to a Scrum task board or a story wall. Now, if you're not familiar with a story wall, it's basically just a wall where you stick stories and tasks that the team will be working on. The story wall is divided into swim lanes that depict the progress of each story being one card. The earlier you start working off a story wall, the better it is because the team and everyone has visibility on what are the items that are in the product backlog and what need to be worked on. Once I have an initial story list, like this one that we discussed in our earlier video, I like to convert the spreadsheet as soon as possible into cards on a wall. I like to do this as early as possible because firstly it will be a lot less effort to do so as opposed to say moving cards much later. Also, you really don't want to be in a place where the team gets used to be working off a spreadsheet like this and the sheet just gets bloated. So I would say the earlier you move to story cards, the better it is. The reason that I started creating this ISL with spreadsheet is that it's just faster initially. It acts like a to-do list so that the team can get a grip of the overall project. Also, a lot of times during the beginning of a project, you have to cram all of this, getting all of this information into a few number of days, and it's difficult to get stakeholder time and things like that. So it's just easier to do it this way. But once the purpose is done, it's time to move on to story cards. Now, if your team is co-located, then the easiest way to do this is physical index cards, and I'll link a couple of pictures of a physical card, what a physical card and wall looks like down below. More often than not, though, you will be in a distributed team with different teams and not necessarily able to get together in one room for the rest of the life cycle of the project. In this case, it's super easy to use story walls like these. I'm sure most of you guys have already used them at some point in time. My favorite is Trello for ease of use, and it is what I recommend to my clients who are startups and small teams. Then there are other options like Mingle, Jira, Rally, etc. I will link all of them down below. You can take a look at them and find the tool that works best for your team. Here I have an example of what my initial Trello wall would look like. To move from a Google Spreadsheets to Trello, I've used a really handy tool called Zapier. In Zapier, you can create these things called Zap, which actually converts your Google spreadsheet into Trello cards, and you can actually set which column maps to what attribute of your card. One tip here is to use different colors for different labels for different feature sets. So for example, in this card, I have a label of login because this story belongs to the login feature or epic, and it's just easier to organize your cards that way. A lot of times you have different stakeholders and different people working on different feature sets, and it's just easier to organize it that ways. Also, this will eventually help you with story mapping, which is something that I will speak about in my later videos as well. As you can see, all of the cards here are in a backlog column or the to-do column. I've created some other sim lanes as well, really simple ones that you would probably need: to do, doing, and done. It's not important to focus on these swim lanes right now. I'll be speaking about them later in a couple of my videos. It's important to know that at this point we have not sized stories or ordered them either. Remember, I said ordered and not prioritized, and there is a difference that I'll speak on in a later video. So now that you have stories set up, you're ready for starting your story sizing exercises. We will talk about story sizing in the next video, and it'll basically help you sort of plan out and budget out your product. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, you can email me. My email address will be in the description box below. Until next video, see ya. Bye.